What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. Last time we got to the reunion inn. Layton right now is off with Nigel Thornberry to investigate something. So we're playing as Luke and Cammy investigating Henry's study. There we go, okay. I feel like we've investigated a lot of things here already. I don't know what's left. There can't be a whole lot. Hotel registers. These list the names of rooms of the guests here. I doubt there are any clues in there about the masked gentleman. Right. Even if he is here, we don't know what name he'd be under. What about this binder, Emmy? A record of the masked gentleman's appearances. There are also copies of the warning letters and announcements. I guess Henry was trying pretty hard to catch the masked gentleman too. It must be horrible watching someone trying to destroy what he spent years building. I suppose so. If the professor and Henry had worked together all this time, they might have caught the masked gentleman by now. I think Henry felt betrayed when the professor left Stansbury for London while he searched for Randall. The relationship between Henry and the professor is quite complicated. Being an adult sounds quite complicated. That's what she just said, man. So, have you two found anything? We most certainly have, Professor. It's a log from an expedition that was searching for Randall. We also found a journal that Henry has been keeping. Good work. I also found something. Is that the Mask of Chaos? But it was stolen from Henry's study. Does this mean Henry has been the masked gentleman all along? So the mask was never stolen at all? Well, not exactly, but it was taken from the Lador estate and hidden here. But why would Henry hide the mask? It wasn't Henry who hid it. Perhaps that isn't the Mask of Chaos. Is that actually the Mask of Order? The one that the masked gentleman's after? Not quite. I thought I was going to find a replica of the Mask of Chaos here, a fake. But to my surprise, the mask I found here is actually the genuine Mask of Chaos. It seems that someone has hidden it here, but the question is, why? And is the masked gentleman even aware of this? I don't have the answers yet, but I know there's a deep connection between these questions and the next dark miracle. There was something else here, but that I found to be very interesting. What's this? Is this a map of Montador? It looks much different than it does today. This old perspective map shows how things would look as development progressed. It also reveals a rather fascinating secret about Montador. Notice anything odd about those ruins? They seem to form a pattern. This is why the masked gentleman's been so intent on finding the Mask of Order. Why? Before I explain, we need a bit more evidence to confirm my suspicion. According to Bloom, the masked gentleman is somewhere in this hotel. Morty, are there any other rooms that may be of interest to us? Actually, Professor, I just remembered that I have something I was asked to hold for you. Sorry for the trouble, but would you mind returning to the lobby with me? Of course not. I was instructed to give this to you. It was left at the front desk with the letter addressed to you. Why didn't he lead with this? What book is it? Very interesting. It looks like the masked gentleman has sent us another message. A long time ago, there was a small kingdom surrounded by forest. 5 friends who lived near a castle spent their time fishing in the river and playing in the lush grassy fields. One day they went exploring to the top of the tallest hill in the land, and there they found a treasure of silver and gold. The friends divided the treasure between them, and 4 of them spent their riches through the years. But one friend decided to bury his share of the treasure in a fine place, surrounded by green and pleasing to the eye. He did this so he can go searching for treasure with his friends again. He did it so he would never forget that freeing feeling of embarking on an adventure. He did it so the 5 friends would always have a reason to be together. This boy knew that people change when they grow up. When he finished burying his treasure, he fell asleep by a window, fully content and blanketed in the glow of the moonlight. The end! There he died. Poor because he buried his treasure. It's a children's story. A kingdom surrounded by forest, 5 friends, a treasure of silver and gold. Does this story sound familiar to you? No? I had a big book of fairy tales at home, but I don't remember this one. This story feels unfinished. It doesn't have a proper ending. It may be an allegory of sorts, perhaps about the masked gentleman himself. What is he trying to tell us? The lights went out. Stay calm, Luke. I expect this is the masked gentleman's handiwork. He's been waiting for us. And this book is his invitation to find him. Is this all one big game? We need to act quickly here. Let's go. Let's see if there are any clues in this story that will help us find him. He must be here in this hotel somewhere. Perhaps we need to find a room where he fell asleep by a window, fully content and blanketed in the glow of the moonlight. If he fell asleep, there must have been a place for him to lie down, obviously. Somewhere with the bed. Yeah, somewhere with the bed. We're at a hotel, so it must be one of the guest rooms. And the bit about the moonlight streaming through must mean we're looking for a room with a bed near a large window. I believe we have a room matching that description on the 3rd floor. Follow me. Where? Where is it? So what's the next scam, Connor? Who we gotta fleece next? You know, you're almost as brainless as you're ugly. Has all that hair product frozen in your brain? What do you mean? This hair is my brain! I set everything up perfectly, but you always seem to find a way to mess things up. You know what? I had enough of your lip. How'd you like a knuckle sandwich with extra sandwich? There's no need for fighting, gentlemen. Hey, how'd you get in here? Layton, what a pleasant intrusion. Might I ask what you're doing here? In my hotel room. You better get out of here right now, bub. Unless you want a sandwich with extra sandwich. Wait, how'd that go? Yes, you're interrupting our confidential exit strategy session, Layton. Do you mind? My apologies, gentlemen. Please don't mind me. Okay. What are we looking for? There's gotta be something in these rooms. Something in these rooms. That I'm missing. Look, we paid good dirty money for this room. You can't just shove us aside and start poking around. It's just rude. Yeah, if you want to search our room, you have to pay us for the privilege. No. Click it. Oh, what the heck? Since you keep getting up in our faces, it must mean you want to duke it out. Perhaps some other time. Right now, I need your permission to search this room. Oh ho ho, my aren't we presumptuous? Of course, Layton, please rifle through my room as soon as you solve this puzzle. Ha ha hee ha. Water, wood, fire. The cards in this tournament beat each other as follows. Fire, wood, water, fire. 4 players each draw 4 cards, which they have to play in order to going from top to bottom. Both players in a match play 1 card. Whoever wins moves on to the final, but if it's a draw, the next cards are played. Huh? Wood for water, water for wood. Wood for water, water for wood. I feel like it's either A or B, because the order has to be wood to be swapped, and then water to wood. If you look at A, wood would lose to fire, but C's wood will also lose to fire, but he wants his second water to be wood. Therefore, A. If I get this right...
How about this?
That was really fast. I got it wrong. That was really fast.
Let me reconsider that.
I suppose we can take into account the draws. His water was wood and his wood was water. Or his wood was water. But there are only 2 people that have... Oh, D also has wood and water. So it's either C or D then. Has to be, because B doesn't have any
Just a dash
wood.
of puzzle solving here.
There it is.
That was a challenge, to be sure.
It is C who is lamenting her bad luck. Well, you actually solved it. Indeed. Now, if you don't mind... Way to go, Connor. I thought your plans were always so perfect. Stick a sock in it, Frankie. Frankie! A dirty one. Go ahead, Layton. There's nothing of value left in here anyway. Super! We will be as quick as possible. Could this be the fine place surrounded by green and pleasing to the eye? Professor, there was a book hidden behind this picture frame. So the place surrounded by green and pleasing to the eye is a green picture frame in this guest room. Why didn't he just come out and say that? Let's see if this is another children's story. One day a young boy found a wild dog in the woods near his village. The dog was hurt, so the boy took him in. As the dog healed, he grew to trust the boy. The two grew up together and became very close with one another. One day, the boy packed up his belongings so that he could fulfill his dream of becoming a scholar. The dog was sad to see the boy go. The boy grew into a fine young man and became a famous scholar. When he returned, he was eager to show his family and his dog what he had made of himself. But when he arrived, he saw that his house was empty. The boy, now all grown up, saw an old man, pass by and asked him what had happened. The old man said that the family who lived in that house had been chased out years ago by a wild dog, and that's when the boy realized. He had been betrayed by the one he trusted the most. He now had no home and no family to return to. With grief weighing heavy upon his heart, he disappeared into the woods, never to be seen again. I'm telling you, Randall is the boy, the scholar. Henry is the dog. Randall feels betrayed. That he came home, everything was gone, and Henry, yeah, that's absolutely what it is. Clearly another allegory, but I'm not sure what it means. So that last part must be designed to lead us to another room, right? It seems that there's a wilderness theme here, with the dog and the repeated images of the woods. Morty, are there any rooms here with a lot of plants or foliage in them? Actually, yes, please follow me. Good call, Professor! ba ba ba. Ooh, ah, ah, ee. There certainly are a lot of plants in here. That one has flowers blooming and that one's bearing fruit. This conservatory is the pride of our hotel. Careful monitoring and maintenance of the soil and air allows us to grow plants from all 4 seasons in one room. What amazing technology! I see there are animals here as well. What? How did that bird get in here? That bird is sitting on a book. The bird appears to be guarding it. We'll need to approach it very carefully. Let me talk to him. This will be my first attempt at talking to a bird, but here goes. Caw, scrack, caw, caw. Anything? He said he's not moving until he gets his favorite fruit, whatever that is. There are plenty of different kinds of fruit in here. Does that mean none of these are his favorite? He didn't get that specific. Morty, do you have any fruitful insight? Mr. Lador said one tree here is quite sensitive, but will bear a very rare and delicious fruit under the right conditions. Perhaps that's what this bird seeks. So we have to wait around here until the conditions are just right for this tree to bear fruit. Well, although the tree withers easily in the wrong environment, it will produce fruit instantly in perfect condition. I would guess that the blackout altered the environment here. If we restore power, could we make this tree happy? Of course! There's a backup generator we use for this type of occasion. How could you forget something like that? How do we turn it on? It's, there's a switch somewhere in this room. Morty, did you forget where it is? Don't be ridiculous, I'm just remembering gradually. My apologies. It's okay, Morty. We can help you look for it. And with that, let's go ahead and end this video here, so next time we can investigate the conservatory, find the switch, and get this bird off this damn book. So until then, have a good weekend. Bye-bye!